Hello, welcome back. This is Walking Movies, and I've not been around for over a month on this. I mean, I've obviously been around, but what I mean is I was just looking at it the other day, and it's been just over a month now since I last did a Walking Movies. That's because it's been just over a month since I last went to the movies. Yeah, I've been busy. I've been very busy. If you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're not, why not? You'd have noticed that the channel's had a rebrand, and that's because I'm now starting to put the puzzle pieces together on the next steps of what I do. And that's going to be continuing to do this, as well as doing some stuff about a recent trip I did to Halloween Horror Nights, and also start to do the gaming that I was so desperate to do. So please click the link in the description of the podcast if you want to go and join the video version and all the extra content that will be going on there, because that won't be coming on this feed. This is just purely Walking Movies. Have I said I'm nicking this as Walking Movies? I'm nicking this as Walking Movies. So yeah, in September there were a few films that I wanted to see, and for various reasons just didn't get time to. I said I mean, it was a long weekend, but the days leading up and the days following knocks you out as well. So I just didn't get a chance to go. But there was one film more than any other that I was interested in, and that's the film I'm going to see today. It's called The Creator. It's by Gareth Evans, who you might recognise his name from the 2014 Godzilla, which I don't think is particularly good, and the 2017 Rogue One, which is actually really good. So a bit of a mixed bag. And I saw a trailer for this attached to something I saw in August. Can't remember what now. But I hadn't heard of it before. Actually, you know what this tunnel looks like? I mean, Rogue One, doesn't it? On the Death Star or something. So yeah, I hadn't heard of the film, knew nothing about it, and then saw this trailer and thought, hey, this looks really good. And I was shocked that it was coming out so soon without hearing anything about it. So I was eager to see it, and in my defence, it's only been out a week, so it's not like I'm catching up on a really old film, but it's certainly not completely up to date. So yeah, it stars John David Washington, Gemma Chan, Ken Watanabe, who was also, if I remember correctly, in his Godzilla film. And it's a sci-fi film, and that's really all I know. Like I saw the trailer and I got an idea what the main plot is, but I couldn't really go into any major detail about it. I tried to not see too much about it. Thought it'd be a nice surprise. So here I am, going to cinema instead to see it without being able to tell you much more. But it's had a mild opening. It opened with Saw X in America. I don't know when Saw X is coming out over here. I'm not particularly bothered. I saw the first two Saw films, and that was enough for me. And also The Exorcist Believer came out this weekend, so that's more competition for this film. And it's had a soft opening in the US. I think it opened number one in the UK because there wasn't any other competition really. And I've not seen any reviews, so I don't know how it's been received. So I'm going into this as neutral as you can, which is always, I think, a good way to do it. I've got no, I know I saw a trailer and it looks interesting, and that's all I've got, really. So that's it. So I can't see anymore, and I'm going to see that I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping it's at least semi-good. But I'm about halfway to the cinema, so I'll stop this and I'll come back to you once I'm finished. Right, so before I start, I'm just going to show you this. Right, look, it's the 8th of October as I record this, and this is as nice and as warm as when I last recorded in August. Like, it's insane. So I just wanted to share that. I mean, I'm almost too hot in a t-shirt. It's incredible. Spider-Man, by the way. Right, so let's talk about the creator. So I always enjoy well put together sci-fi genre films, and this is no exception. It's a beautiful looking film. You know, he's got a real, as you saw with like Rogue One and Godzilla. Look, as much as I can't say I loved Godzilla as a whole film, it was a well shot film, a good looking film. But this is very much in the frame of Rogue One. Like, I think if you didn't know who was directing it and you watched this, you'd probably think, well, it's like Rogue One, because in a lot of ways it does, but it's also got its own unique look to it. So it's not like a clone, probably the wrong term to use for a Star Wars film, isn't it? But it's not a clone of Rogue One. Like, it does look different, but there are definitely similarities between it. So it's a very good looking film. I thought the casting, I mean, the child in the film, I believe it's their first film role. She's phenomenal. Really, really great. Very talented kid. David John Washington is your lead, who I last saw at least in Tenet, that garbage. I've got to be honest, I'm still not convinced by him. Like, the best thing I've seen him in was Black Klansman. And I kind of thought Tenet wasn't his fault because of the direction of that film. But I'm not sure. Maybe it was. He's good. There were just times when I didn't think he was particularly great. I think the problem is it's really hard not to compare him to his dad, because you know where he's come. You know what his who his father is. So, you know, he's definitely not his dad yet in terms of acting ability, but he does fine. But overall, like, I thought it was a really good film. It's as a really beautiful film. Reminded me of things like Blade Runner. I thought the design of the vehicles was inspired both on the ground and in the air. It's not the most original story. To break it down to its bare bones, it's essentially there's a key to solving the problem, and we need to protect it. So it's not original in that regard, but that said, I've never seen it done quite in the way that Gareth Edwards has done it in this film. He's a talented director, and this film looks like it costs a hell of a lot of money. Like, it looks as expensive as an Avatar, but it wasn't, obviously. And I just had a quick look. Its opening weekend, or its to date box office was like 38 million, which it's in its second weekend now, so it's not been updated yet. But I was disappointed to see that, because it deserves to be seen. It deserves to be seen on a big screen as well. Like, when you make a film as visually appealing as this, you want to see it on a big screen, and I think it was in IMAX. I saw it on one of their other big screens though, and I'm glad I did. The soundtrack, the score was also excellent. Really good use of like the surround sound in a cinema for it as well, which again, when you watch it at home, unless you've got a good sound setup, you will miss some of that. But no, I'm really glad I saw it, and it deserves better than it's getting so far. I think it's going to be a film probably like Blade Runner, where it doesn't get appreciated until after the time has passed. But it's really worth your time. What would I give it as a score? 8 out of 10. Like, it's well worth your time. I really enjoyed it, and I think people should go and see it. It deserves more recognition, and although my little channel's not going to do too much for that, I'm gonna spread the word. It's a 20th Century Fox film, so it'll eventually come out on Disney Plus. But should you see it before that? Yeah, go and see it on a big screen. It deserves that, and yeah, I hope it becomes a cult classic, because you know it's obviously not really finding its audience right now. I did see actually that Saw X is out now. I didn't realise it was out in the UK as well, because I just wasn't looking for it. But yeah, so if you like sci-fi, or you're interested in sci-fi at all, this is a great film to see. I'm not to say it's the best sci-fi film I've seen this year, but I mean that's not really a high bar, because I'm struggling to think of any other sci-fi films I've seen. But you know, if you like that kind of genre and you like films that look amazing, then go and see The Creator. I'm now going to go and find out what other people thought of the film. I'll go and listen to Mark Kermode's review, and but you should just go and watch it. Go and watch The Creator. It's great. So that's it. Thank you for sticking with the channel, and I'm not sure what's next, but I promise you it won't be another month. So until next time, Flint lives.